Brian O'Driscoll slams England's anxiety in Six Nations defeat. I couldn't get over it. England's title ambitions in the 2026 Six Nations have suffered a dramatic blow following their 42-21 defeat to Ireland at Allianz Stadium, Twickenham. The loss, following a 31-20 defeat to Scotland the previous week, has raised serious questions about the state of England's attack, with legendary Irish centre Brian O'Driscoll revealing that the level of anxiety and hesitation displayed by the host was strikingly apparent from the first whistle. Speaking to Off the Ball, O'Driscoll described the opening moments of the game as a microcosm of England's problems. According to the former British and Irish Lion star, the hosts squandered an opportunity to build momentum early in the game by prioritizing conservative kicking over patient, phase-based play. I couldn't get over their first play of the game when they got possession and went through 3 or 4 phases, O'Driscoll explained. They might have made 20 meters, they were going well. They are the hardest yards you're going to get in the whole game because everyone's fresh and ready to make an impact. Instead, George Ford goes for a cross-field kick. It was only a 5-yard gain, and yes, Freddie Stewart caught it well, but that kind of play doesn't inspire confidence or rhythm in your attack. O'Driscoll went on to emphasize that this early hesitation set the tone for England's display. While Ireland didn't pull away until later in the first half, the nervousness in the English ranks was evident from the outset. Ford's decision to kick rather than continue building the phases suggested a lack of trust in their own attacking structures, and it left the team unable to establish momentum. For me, it was a worrying sign. You have to have confidence early on, particularly after a previous defeat. England were cautious, almost overthinking, and that anxiety was palpable on the pitch. Early errors compounded the problem. The opening 20 minutes only reinforced O'Driscoll's concerns. England struggled to execute basic set-piece plays, which allowed Ireland to gain a foothold in the game. A failed first line-out and miscommunication on the second, when Luke Cowan-Dickie went to Alex Mitchell, were indicative of deeper structural and mental issues in the team. There's definitely a tentativeness to England on the back of the previous week's defeat to Scotland, O'Driscoll said. You could see it in the line-outs, in their handling, and in the way they approach collisions. They weren't taking calculated risks, and that hesitation only fuels anxiety. O'Driscoll highlighted that these problems were compounded by England's failure to attack aggressively in contact situations. Instead of trusting the forwards to make hard yards and establish a platform, the team frequently opted for low-percentage options or early kicking choices. Play with a bit of confidence early on and get a load of touches, he added. Once you're in the game, you start to build rhythm. England didn't do that. There's no need for overcomplication. Just win collisions, make meters, and let the game come to you. A pattern of anxiety, the 42-21 defeat was not an isolated incident. O'Driscoll noted that England's performance against Scotland and their cautious play against Ireland point to a recurring problem in their approach to big games. Despite a 12-match winning streak leading into the Calcutta Cup clash, the team seems unable to shake off doubts in high-pressure situations. There is something wrong with England's attack game. It's not about talent. They have the players, but about mindset and composure. Anxiety can ripple through a team quickly, especially after a previous defeat, and that's what we saw at Twickenham. O'Driscoll's analysis extends beyond individual errors to the broader tactical approach. Decisions made under pressure, such as opting for early kicks instead of maintaining possession and building phases, reveal a team struggling to trust its own structures and instincts. The first play is symbolic, he said. You have 20 to 25 meters gained through phases, the opportunity to get your hands on the ball, and to really start the game with momentum, and instead, they choose a kick that barely advances the ball. That hesitation speaks volumes about their confidence levels. The role of leadership on the pitch, O'Driscoll argues, is critical in overcoming these issues. While George Ford is a seasoned international and capable decision-maker, the wider team seemed unsettled by the previous week's loss and struggled to assert themselves in key moments. It's about more than just skill. It's about mental toughness and the ability to impose yourself in a game. England's leaders didn't manage to instill that confidence early on. When players are hesitant, the team's rhythm suffers, and it becomes difficult to execute even basic plays. He pointed to specific moments where the lack of leadership and conviction was evident. Defensive lapses, missed lineouts, and misjudged kicks all contributed to Ireland gaining control and ultimately dominating the match. The first 10 to 15 minutes should have been about playing into the game, asserting themselves, and showing no fear. England didn't do that. You could see the anxiety creeping in, and that had a knock-on effect for the rest of the game. Tactical misjudgments. O'Driscoll also highlighted tactical misjudgments by the England coaching staff. By not adjusting to Ireland's patterns early and opting for conservative plays, the team allowed the visitors to dictate the pace and flow of the game. England's approach seemed reactive rather than proactive, he noted. They were trying to avoid mistakes rather than creating opportunities. That's a mindset problem. In big games, you had to trust your game plan and execute it, even if it's uncomfortable. These tactical errors, combined with individual mistakes, created a scenario where Ireland could build confidence and extend their lead. For England, the problem wasn't talent or ability. It was a lack of composure, confidence, and execution under pressure. Lessons for England. O'Driscoll's critique, while sharp, is also constructive. He emphasized that addressing these issues requires a cultural shift within the team. Players must be encouraged to trust their instincts, maintain composure under pressure, and assert themselves in high-stakes situations. Playing your way into the game is crucial. Confidence builds with touches, with collisions, and with success in the early phases. England didn't do that, and it cost them. He also stressed that technical execution must go hand in hand with mental resilience. Lineouts, set-piece plays, and tactical decisions all reflect the underlying confidence of the players. When anxiety takes hold, even basic structures begin to crumble. They have to work on attacking patterns, sure, but the bigger issue is mindset. Teams that win consistently in high-pressure tournaments have players who thrive under pressure, not freeze under it. England need to develop that mentality if they want to compete at the highest level. Looking ahead, with the 2026 Six Nations now beyond England's reach for the title, the focus must shift to rebuilding confidence and cohesion. O'Driscoll's observations highlight that the issues are not just about individual errors. They are systemic, reflecting a need for stronger leadership, mental resilience, and clarity in attack strategy. England have the talent, no question, but they need to trust themselves. They need to play with aggression and purpose from the start of games, and not let previous results dictate their confidence. That's the only way they will get back to winning ways and compete for titles in future tournaments. The former Ireland star concluded with a reminder of the fine margins in international rugby. One moment of hesitation, one conservative choice, can shift the momentum of a game, and England's struggles this weekend are a stark reminder of that reality. In rugby, momentum is everything. You get it by playing positively, taking opportunities, and asserting yourself. England didn't do that, and Ireland took full advantage. Final thoughts. England's defeats in consecutive weeks highlight that even the most talented teams can falter if mental and tactical elements are not in alignment. O'Driscoll's analysis serves as both a critique and a guide for improvement. Confidence, composure, and assertive play are non-negotiable in top-level rugby. For England, the challenge now is to internalize these lessons and rebuild a team culture capable of handling pressure, making smart decisions under duress, and playing with both aggression and structure. The Six Nations may be slipping away, but with the right adjustments, England can ensure that future campaigns do not see anxiety and hesitation dictate outcomes.